Well, here we are at the top of the Empire State Building, first or probably second day in New York, and that's the first thing that most people do, I suppose, when they go to New York. Straight up the top of the Empire State Building. This is the view from the 86th floor. That's the Flatiron Building, and the view down towards the sort of financial district you can just about make out in the distance. Unfortunately, the day we went up there it's a little bit hazy, so I don't know if it's smog or haze, but generally the weather was pretty good all the time we were there. Actually, it was sunny and warm, very sticky at times, I must admit. That's the Chrysler Building, a bit more of which later on. Hopefully you can have about 3 different videos, I should think, after I've edited all the footage. That gives you some idea exactly how sort of high you are, I think, there. Very small cars in the distance. The elevator that takes you up to the 80th floor, and then you get another one to the 86th. It takes 1 minute and 5 seconds. I actually timed it, and that's not bad for 80 floors. That's a view up towards Central Park in the distance, and that's sort of 5th Avenue just on the right hand side there. So great views from up the top. I should imagine on a nice clear bright maybe winter's day the view is absolutely spectacular. You can see sort of 30 odd miles apparently, and they actually tell you at the bottom what the visibility is on that particular day. That's obviously the outside by the entrance. Quite some queues, I must admit, quite a long queue. We did go on a Saturday, which possibly isn't the best day to go anyway, but you can't choose these things sometimes, can you? This is the inside of Grand Central Station, which is down on 42nd Street. An amazing building on the inside. I've been told that it was sort of like a big cavernous building, and the ceiling, as you can see here, although you can't make it out in the video, there's actually all the signs of the Zodiac are actually on the ceiling. Big American flags everywhere. One thing that did get me was that I didn't realise it was so much of a working station. It is still a fully functional working station, and a very busy one at that. But the inside, it's an enormous size inside. Recognisable from, I think that's a particular staircase has been used in films in the past. I think it was The Untouchables it was used in that. Downstairs, which is another part, is an amazing place with the food hall. This is the Chrysler Building. This is the lobby of the Chrysler Building. You can't go any further than the lobby, unfortunately. This is the ceiling, and a great sort of mural sort of painting of the building itself. And possibly our favourite building, actually. You'll see the outside very shortly. There we go. Looks great in the sunshine with its sort of shiny, sort of metallic look to it, and the sort of metal objects on the outside. I'm no big car buff or anything like that, but it's all sort of tied up with obviously the Chrysler cars. And these are sort of big metallic bits on the outside. This is Grand Central Station itself, the outside of it, and this is 42nd Street. And a great area actually, as I mentioned before about the sort of architecture and the different styles. This gives you a very good example. Here you've got Grand Central Station, there's the Chrysler Building up there, and in between the two you've got the Hyatt Hotel, which I know some people don't like apparently, but I thought it looked quite good with all that glass. One of my favourite streets, I think, 42nd Street, and there's the MetLife Building, the old Pan Am Building, which is right behind Grand Central Station as well. All these different styles of architecture, as I've said, fascinating. It reminded me a little bit of London in some ways, with all the different styles, different ages of the buildings as well. Endlessly sort of fascinating, looking up into the air wherever you go. The obligatory flags again, and the eagle sitting out there. This is the family trying to keep out of the way of the video. 5th Avenue again, just a shot of all the taxis. You see the pictures of the taxis, but you never realise quite how many there are actually around. They've actually changed a lot of them into hybrid taxis now, which is good. This is top of 5th Avenue. This is St Patrick's Cathedral, one of those sort of buildings that's just sitting there in amongst all the new glassy superstructures that we've got. And this is an old-fashioned building, so once again sort of familiar for people who might live in London. A very nice building sort of stuck there in the middle, and there was actually a wedding going on a bit later in the day. A great place to get married, I should think. Top of 5th Avenue in St Patrick's Cathedral. Crossing the road, so I get a shot of that. This is the Rockefeller Center, more of which will be in another video, but this is just the view, gives you some idea of all the buildings around. This is from St Patrick's Cathedral again. One thing I said before about how easily walking distance most of these places are, if you're prepared to do a little bit of walking. It's a fairly compact area. This is obviously the Empire State Building. In the sort of early evening, it looks great all different times of day. This is just a couple of blocks from where we were staying. Obviously we're very close to the Empire State Building. This is, I think it's Greeley Square it's called, and this particular road you're coming down to is West 34th Street. We were actually on 31st Street, I believe it was, and looking down just around the corner, and that's Broadway going south there. Little cycle rickshaws. I wouldn't want to be driving one of those in the New York traffic, I must admit. Just around the corner is actually Madison Square Garden and Penn Station. That's just more or less behind those buildings there. And in a minute we shall pan up and you'll know what this one is straight away. Gives you some idea of how close we were to the sort of centre of things. That's the view down Broadway towards where we were staying. So another busy intersection, just showing you all the amount of people that are around, although it didn't actually feel that busy. Another shot of the world's largest store. Of course we did go in there, and Sarah Jessica Parker was actually in there one day, signing autographs and promoting her new perfume. The family looking lost once again, all waiting for me to finish filming anyway. And this is the view up, that's Broadway in the middle there, and just around the corner from that is Times Square, not very far away as well. So we were ideally situated, as I said, just around the corner. This is literally the end of our road, 31st Street, and this is the view slightly later in the day. I just took a walk out, thought I'd get yet another shot of the Empire State Building. So it looks different at different times of day. But you could walk past it actually without even realising it was there, unless you sort of craned your neck up. You could walk past without realising.